A Florida student with autism was sentenced to 5 years in prison for attacking his teacher's aide. Just the title alone is like, wait a minute, this is too harsh of a thing for someone who's autistic. Not only is it 5 years in prison, but it's also 15 years of supervised probation. There's a viral video from February of 2023 of Brandon Deepa when he attacked his teacher's aide. Here's the reason why. He was playing with a Nintendo Switch in the classroom. The teacher's aide took it away from him, and that action caused what happened. He literally beat down his teacher's aide. It was said that the teacher's aide suffered several broken ribs, a concussion, hearing and sight loss, as well as being diagnosed with PTSD. The mother of the student reached out to the news network and said that prison is not the place for her special needs son. Now, it is my understanding that he was up for 30 years in prison, and there is now a lawsuit filed against Flagler County Schools in this matter. I mean, come on now. Granted, he did attack the teacher, but there are certain protocols in place when you work with special needs students. Did you even look at his IEP? Did you even look at the protocols on how to do when there's conflict with a special needs student? These are things you got to take into consideration when working with special needs gifted children. You can't do them like you do a regular student. It don't work like that. So, I'm sorry, baby teacher A, but this was your fault. You should have handled this better. There are protocols and things set in place. You should have looked at his plan. You should have contacted his mother. This is your fault. Now, there is a lawsuit against Flagler County School District on the behalf of Brandon Deepa, who is now 18 years old. This incident happened when he was 17, last February. This is too harsh of a punishment for someone who is artistically gifted, for someone who is of special needs, who may not have control enough over his actions, and when things are taken away from him, it causes a problem. Now, this is where my personal opinion comes in. I believe that artistically gifted children need to be either homeschooled or they need to be put in a school that works with specifically autistic children. Putting them in a public school opens them up to a lot of different things that could possibly harm them as the special needs student. I mean, because if you can't function without having a Nintendo Switch with you, you don't need to be in a public school anyway. You need to be at home where there's a less of a controlled environment, where you're more comfortable, and where you're also with a teacher who understands you and can work with you. Brandon Deepa should have been either homeschooled or put in a school that works with specifically autistic children. This is where training comes in. You cannot hire paraprofessionals or anyone to work in the special needs program in schools and they have no training. School cannot function with special needs students inside of your building and you have no training on how to work with them. I would have sued the school too. Y'all failed Brandon. Yes, Brandon was a ticking time bomb because y'all didn't know how to treat him. This is the school's fault.